What have I learned and accomplished this semester is a loaded question. I don't even know how to answer it because there's so much that I learned this year, and I'm only in my first block of the College of Education, so I do not even know how I'm going to just continue to learn all of these things throughout the course of the rest of my education. We started off this semester by creating an Apple Teacher account, which allowed us to just get to know different Apple apps that we may not have heard of before or that we have heard of before, but allowed us to know how to use it correctly and all the little details that you can do in the app. One of my favorite parts about this class was that it incorporated so much technology, which is kind of understandable because it's called Ed Technology, but I really liked, one of my favorite things was that we incorporated podcasts. So at the beginning of some weeks, our teacher had a podcast for us to listen to. It was just a couple minutes, but it helped us know what we were going to be learning about that week, and sometimes she would throw in a little couple tips and tricks or like things to help us understand what the week was going to look like better. The next thing we learned about was what a Wakelet collection was, and at first I thought that this website was kind of going to be a little bit strange, but I ended up really liking it. I think that this will be, out of everything that we learned, one of the things that I will continue to use. I really liked it because it reminds me of Pinterest, but like a teacher thing. And so it's very easy to categorize things. You know where it's going to be if you need to find it again. Another thing that we learned about in this class was how to use memes and posters and Bitmojis in your classroom to help spice up your everyday life and the environment that your kids are learning in. And if you use them correctly, it can really help engage the students and make your classroom environment fun. Finally, one of the last things we learned was what a HyperDoc was, and I thought these things were super cool. They really appealed to me because I feel like they'd be super fun to use when you have a substitute, because most of the time when I think of substitute teaching, I think of your whole day was just thrown off. You really don't do anything productive. But with a HyperDoc, you could easily have your students do something productive because you can have the whole lesson plan right there. Overall, I really enjoyed this class, and one of the biggest things that I enjoyed was that we created so many lesson plans throughout the semester. It never felt like I was overwhelmed, but it allowed me to have a nice collection of lessons that I can easily adapt to make accessible for any grade that I end up teaching or any place that I end up teaching at.